between that, Bob Woodward's new book, and Omarosa, there's a lot to talk about right now.
That's right. Here to help us sort out what's trending tonight, Republican Jason Meath and Democrat Tisch Sussman joins us via Skype. Guys, thanks so much for joining us.
Glad to be here.
All right, if we could kind of go back to the Joe Scarborough thing, folks were critical of him for what he tweeted out today, specifically saying the president has been worse on America than what terrorists have been, and they gave him a lot of backlash for that. Emily, I'm going to get your take on that.
Look, Joe Scarborough knows how to make news. He makes news all the time. He knows how to get catchy headlines, and that's what he was trying to do, but it was in poor taste. And I think, unfortunately, the bigger piece of what he was talking about is lost, which is that we've lost so many of our values. I think a lot of the examples that he gave are good ones. The fact that the president is, somewhat regularly retweeting neo-Nazis, white supremacists, these are not core American values. And I actually think a point that he could have made and should have made is that a lot of the president's policies have done a lot to make us less safe against terrorism. When you think about what anti-Americans are using to recruit against the U.S., they're using images of children being separated from their families at the border. They're using examples of family separation through visas. These are actually used to recruit against the U.S., and I think he should have made those points instead of trying to make a 9/11 comparison.
Well, Jason, interested to hear your takeaway on this.
Oh, my God. I just heard the litany of the DNC talking points. I mean, it gets a little tiresome after a while. 9/11 is not about politics, and Joe Scarborough should have known better. What Joe Scarborough did was dishonor the people that were murdered that day. He dishonored the people that gave their lives to rescue people that day. He dishonored people that are still suffering, and he should have, seriously, people have called for him to be fired, and I think that if, another anchor would have said the same thing about President Obama or George W. Bush, you'd have seen that happen. Joe Scarborough is a hypocrite. He spent 2 years on his show interviewing and fawning all over Donald Trump while he was running for office, and even calling him and comparing him to Ronald Reagan. And then it was convenient when Trump won and he lost his access to Donald Trump, he decided to sort of jump on the Never Trump bandwagon and make his show all about Trump hating. And he owes the president an apology, he owes the American people an apology, and he should be fired.